YouTube massive and crew. What a guan. And me man, Mr. B again. And boy, it look like this SSL scandal here, I get from worse to worser. You know. I mean, so the government announced today, the Jamaican government, that they're going to bring in the FBI. Now, you know, it's almost as if we don't have an investigative mechanism. But before we get to that, let me also point out that the plot thickens. You know, me ask a couple questions the other day. Why is it that the government never say nothing from early when the thing a bust out? In fact, them even know longer than before that, based on the reports. But they did nothing. And so you wonder why them take so long. Minister of Finance waited almost 10 days before he make a talk. And then the Prime Minister waited virtually 2 weeks. And FEMA argument is, boy, I may wait for get some report from the investigative people them and Ray. And I guess if you believe that, me have a whole heap of bridge where down my yard we can sell. Because guess what we find out today? That several government departments to the tune of billions of dollars have placed money with SSL. The two biggest ones that them honored so far seem to be the National Health Fund and the National Housing Trust. Now, in any language, this is bad. Very bad. And so you kind of make you wonder to yourself, how come? You know? Because if you expose this thing earlier, you're going to expose that are not just bold, but the taxpayers are involved because at taxpayers' money, and although I not live a yard, I still have little thing down there where me generate some taxes and, through family and thing. But the taxpayers are on the hook. And then you realize anywhere smoke there, fire there. So in order for try and ease off the thing now, the government say, well, we're gonna bring in the FBI. Nobody now talk about the police. We have a investigative, a financial investigative unit down a yard. The police down in Jamaica now have no use. And so by making this admission, what the government are saying in their own way is them basically say that our police force now they use. Our financial investigative division is just a title and some work, because beyond that, them can't manage this. Now remember, them are dealing with this thing for the longest while, right? So bringing in the FBI, the first thing you have to remember is that the FBI now a jurisdiction on Jamaica, right? Them can't lock up nobody. Maybe them can do a little investigation up here so and see if any money is sprinkled and hide off up here so. But outside of that, them now a jurisdiction down in Jamaica. And so if you have any smarts, you start to figure out, okay, I know what this is. It is called the policy of symbolic manipulation. If you attach the FBI to a big criminal activity like this, it kind of ease off the pressure of the participants, certainly at the administrative and government level, and it give impression so the government to do something. But don't make that fool, because the FBI now have the jurisdiction in Jamaica. The most them can talk about is if any wire fraud committed up here, so, and if them can finger anybody. And while the way them man skill in a thief the money from poor people in Jamaica, me kind of really I wonder, this policy of symbolic manipulation is something we need to really pay attention to, because it's not just them brother I do this. This has been around for a long time, and both sides of the political divide in Jamaica. At the different time in a government, them do the same thing. Them bring in some people for do some investigation and write some big report, and then nothing happen about it. You know, hear gunfire about these things, right? And but it give the impression to the people because what them I tried, this thing has gotten so bad and so big that and them don't have control over how the information is being presented. We have social media like what me I do here right so now, and with people like us, this kind of media brings the information out in the public domain. Yeah, there is a room in there or the opportunity for manipulation and misrepresentation, but what it does is that it puts the information in front of people that those people who have a vested interest in finding out at least here are some talking points, right? And if you use it properly, you can put pressure upon the political system no matter. And essentially, that's what is happening. The pressure upon them, because some questions that we need to ask, and you wanna ask some serious questions. How much money is actually involved in this scam thing? Because we get all kind of conflicting figures, right? You wanna ask something even bigger than that. How many government departments have basically placed money with this entity, right? And so we want to quantify that because whichever government department make them decision, it must have included the decision making body within those departments, and it also says, you know, to what extent would the Ministry of Finance be aware of these decisions? Because the man them take in the case of the National Health Fund, they move almost $750 million, of the health fund money. I sit down at a place where the man them I take the money and I build big house and I buy some big boat and live some big life. Me see the Nationwide News release a big news item today where they talk about one of the directors of SSL basically claimed some property from one of the other owners of SSL. The other thing that people don't seem to realize is that to date we don't know who the actual owners of SSL. The public don't know that, right? And so the next question that it begs is, what is the relationship between the Prime Minister of Jamaica, right, and other senior government officials and the owners of SSL, right? Because it can't be in a small place like Jamaica where so much money get mixed up and it involves government money and people don't know all the connections go. The other thing you have to look on, SSL is not a bank. SSL is a securities, a stock selling organization where they basically place investments with other investment houses and railway, right? But in order for them for fund the transaction, it have to go through the bank. And remember, Jamaica have some really serious, some might a little asinine, but some serious banking rules. So you can't write a check for $1 million. You certainly can't transact a 20-30 million dollar transaction without that have to be reported at Bank of Jamaica, right? And then you have to get the directors of the company based on over and above a certain limit that them have to sign off on the transaction. So this scandal is not just SSL, because some of the bank them in Jamaica would have facilitated this fraud, right? Because if you move money of that volume, right, it can't the SSL can't do this by themselves. Them have to have a bank as an intermediary, and any other banking officers who are sign up on them transaction, you want to look on them bank manager the investment too and see, because it's certain money run on them and to facilitate some of them transactions, right? And as to the FBI thing, No, I'm not saying that FBI can't help you. Certainly in America, if you try to trace certain transactions, but you can't present that as an option. That is to say that you really do some work on dealing with this thing because this is a Jamaica problem. You need to utilize the Jamaica police, and so what we have is a situation where the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance and the other government officials, by the announcement of this action, you basically said that the police down in Jamaica are no use, right? And if the police not no use, then all their crime plan and all them kind of foolish. Well, we not a crime plan, but the use of the police upon state of emergency and thing. That's the best that them can do. The other thing you don't realize then is that the same state of emergency gives some serious powers that you need for lock up, and even if you don't lock up people, you detain some people who involved in this big 30 million US dollar swindle of the country. You make sure say the directors, the senior managers, them wife and picnic them can't leave the country, right? You seize them passport and whatever, put stop order, them can't travel, and you lock down them bank account so them can't draw no more whole heap of money more than X amount of money just to buy like a bread and like a milk and thing and pay a light bill until we figure this out, right? If you're serious, I saw you deal with them kind of thing. Because the man them skill. Remember me I tell you that. You can't suck with 30 million US dollar or its equivalent without the involvement of a whole heap of different people. You want to check some of them government ministers and see the connection because we want to see a bank account and we want to know where the money them there. We want to see all the investment. That is the reason why when you have a prime minister who now sign the document we're supposed to tell you where him assets is and all them kind of thing there. You're not setting an example, right? In my estimation, based on them revelations that have come out I think the JLP need for those kind of step. Even if you pick up two little barefoot man out the street for run the country, them are do better than them man. Because them man are thief, right? And them facilitate thief. Them facilitate them brown skin thieving friend them for rob the country. And them a rob the taxpayer, them a rob the pensioner. So I know just Usain Bolt. Let me tell you something else. I'm going to leave on with this because Usain Bolt, it was a good thing that this thing involved Usain. Because here what? You say true Usain Bolt and because Jamaica people love Usain, I so comes where I know, say I saw the thing, them kind of thing I go on. I so comes we know. So comes, yeah. So, we have to live with that. We hope say, them can get back their money, including you saying, me not too optimistic about that because when it comes to them kind of fraud, the money gone all about the place. You have some man that drive some $50 million car. Me understand say about 3 or 4 of the director them and them wife of the company. They America, for the past couple of days, them a land, and picnic everybody they up here because them a runner from the scandal. So me I want to ask the question, where all them 50 and $60 million motor vehicle where them a drive up and down and a palaver, which part them left them? Because you have to go hold on upon them there, right? You have to go and hold on upon that and see if when it reach the point where we have to liquidate some asset, we have asset because if you don't do that, them money are skill, right? Tell me one thing, Tell me if you not think the same way me I think, And if you think, however you think, what me I go want to do is give me your feedback, in the comment section of the video. Write your feedback. Make me see if you are think what me I think, And of course, if you like the video, you know it go. Just punch the like button. Yeah, man. And subscribe. If you don't subscribe it, subscribe to the channel, man. Because guess what? This hot. And you see yard media, we hot because we are get the thing them hot off of the press, and I'll give to you. So you want that when the next video them a drop. I may have more. But remember, this policy of the what you call the systemic, the manipulation of information The man them are basically, we call it no systemic, symbolic manipulation, right? We create these investigation, we bring in FBI, think about all of them kind of investigations we have done over the years, and think and tell me how much of them think they really result in anything. Go back to the Tivoli inquiry. Go back to the Spy Robinson thing in the Michael Manley days, the Pattison Commission on Education. All of them thing there now. Them give the impression so them a do something and them write a big report, and the public kind of stop talk about it, and that reach you because them skill to, and them know why we talk about this thing, Thank God them can't control social media. Me just tell people say careful when I put out the dog, you need to remember people will sue you, But tell me what you think. And if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, share, tell a friend them. I mean, say man, Mr. B, respect.